right? Hi Tina, hi Prajakta, hi Pooja, hi Priya Darshini, hi Reena, hi Shweta Saxena. We have Sharu on the screen, we have Madhu Agrawal, Pallavi, Bhavsar. Hi everyone, Soumya.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Soumya, your background looks very windy, noisy, nice, breezy.
Ma'am, actually, I'm going to pick up my kids. That is the reason I'm on the way to school now.
So that is absolutely okay,
Okay.
but your weather seems very, very nice.
Thanks, ma'am. I'll just on my video in another 15 minutes, ma'am.
Sure.
That's fine.
Absolutely okay. No worries on that. Amit, just give me a go ahead when we need to start the session.
Yes, sure, Swati. See, it's we are waiting for a little more people to join in, and I think they're getting the links and then joining in. It's on the platform,
Hmm.
so it's probably a little longer process than expected. So
Sure.
another, I think we will be good to go by 3:05. Another 2 minutes.
Okay, fair. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yes, Padma Priya.
Okay, ladies. So I think let me just set a little bit of the ground rules here. The gestures you're seeing at the bottom raises a hand. Also, where you are seeing a smiley, if you click on that, it shows you a lot of gestures. So if you like something, what our coach is sharing, or you want to react on something like that, you can definitely use these gestures. Also, when you have a question, please raise your hand then, because it may disturb the delivery of the coach. And as just now, Swati felt that Priya wanted to speak something. So, for a smooth delivery, we would appreciate if you raise your hand when you have a question and wait for your turn. Your question will be addressed. Right. And in the meanwhile, second way of communicating is the chat box, which is open for all. You can please write in your requests there, and we will be reading as I can read Pallavi's message. Hi, good afternoon. Very good afternoon to you too, Pallavi. And there is the place where the communication will be on. Okay, and now it's the time. It's 3:05. So let's begin. Let me just start with a small brief introduction about our coach, the coach Swati Gupta, who's going to take your today's session, the session of introduction to sales. And about Swati, she is her expertise are into B2B sales, sales management expert, consultative selling, revenue strategist, corporate behavior skills trainer, former Dale Carnegie certified NLP practitioner. In year 2012, got an opportunity to work with a company in education industry. She started to understand that this industry could be the career calling. So that she started exploring and understanding towards it. Started her career as an assistant manager for different functional domain of education, where she used to work with different marketing to create brand awareness and presence in the market. So Swati, I would, this is just a very small, brief introduction about you. I would love to hear, you telling few things about yourself before we start the session.
Sure. Thank you
Over to
so much, Avneet. Good afternoon, everyone. I request each one of you to start to switch on the videos. So it is going to be fun if you have switch on your videos. It would be really good. Thank you, Pooja, for doing that. Thank you, Tina, Madhu, Paramita. Thank you so much. All right. So my first question before I introduce myself would be, what is an intent? Why have you joined this session? Why have you enrolled for this session? And what is your intent towards it? You have to unmute yourself and yes, Shruti, please go ahead.
Uh, to gain knowledge about what is the current scenario, like sales has a different perspective when you come across nowadays. It
Mhm,
can be incentives, or it can be a way of attracting people to purchase something which is really not required also at some
mhm.
point.
Yeah.
So to know how it can be approached and to gain better knowledge as I have a career break, and also how it is impacting our way of thinking to
Mhm.
get back into career is my point of view of joining today's session, to know more about it.
Sure. So have you been to sales, Shruti, by any chance before?
I was in merchandising, so I'm not completely into sales, but yeah, some 5% where I can announce my clearance sales, where I can give the clarity for my team as this can be taken into clearance sales as these products have not moved in,
Okay.
as the sale has not happened. So I used to only share them the forecast, what is my product availability is, so that they can plan. More, I was more into production.
Okay. All right. Somebody else who would like to say about it? What is an intent? What is the intention? Why are we here? Or why are you here? I know my intent very well. Why am I
Hi
here?
Swati, yeah, hi. Hi Swati, this is Sharmila here.
Yes. Hi, Sharmila.
Yeah, my main intention to join the sales program is I'm not a skill set based, I don't have a skill set based experience because I come from a non-IT
Mhm.
background and I've not had any kind of a core HR kind of an experience nor an marketing kind of an experience. So I have experience in bits and pieces, whether it's for working for a process or being in operations. So I don't have any particular skill set. So looking at the way the market is growing with respect to sales or corporate sales, I thought exploring in sales would give much broader perspective and wider opportunity in
Yes.
the industry. So that's why I opted to join the
Sure.
sales program team.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sharmila, for that. Anyone
Thank
more
you.
would like to go? Thank you. Anyone more who wants to talk about? Just one more person? Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Sharyu, and thank you for having me on this forum. So, for me personally, it is about restarting because I've had a very long break.
Shari.
I have briefly done like retail sales, and after that, I haven't really, even it's been over 10, 12 years. So,
Mhm,
I think I really need to update my skills, and that was the main reason that I decided
mhm.
to do this program, basically.
Sure. Thank you so much for saying that. So good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So now the point is, okay. So now I can't see most of you, but okay, let's do that. So let me just give you a brief introduction about me. My name is Swati Varun Gupta. I currently stay in Bangalore, basically from Maharashtra. The total year of experience that I have is for 14 years, 14 plus years. Just to give you a very precise, in the first 8 years, I was core into sales and marketing, and more precisely, I was into sales. I was into B2B sales and a B2C sales. I'll be talking about it, what exactly B2B and B2C means, maybe in the second half of the day today itself. The second thing is that after my second inning, as in terms of after my daughter was born, I actually started this opportunity of being into trainership, and it's almost by 6 years that I'm into this training fraternity. Now, this training is divided into two parts for me. One training is a behavioral skills training, which includes your communication skills, your presentation skills, your time management, your decisiveness, or maybe something else, collaboration, cross culture. And the other part of training is basically the one that I love the most, that is a sales training, because I love sales from my heart and soul. So this is about me. To add on to this, there are few certification courses which I have done. Like, I am a former Dale Carnegie trainer. I'm a certified person in neuro-linguistic programming. I'm also a certified person in transaction analysis. Along with that, I'm also had certification for the game orientation learning experiences through from Canada University. Plus, I have another certification which adds to your sales training, where I actually can become a coach and a facilitator when it comes to sales. This is a very small journey about me. Thank you for hearing me out on that front. Now, my first question would be for all of you is that, do you think everybody can be a salesperson?
No,
Okay. And why do you say that?
everyone doesn't have the skills required for the sales. Few are very expert in explaining about the product or the services and its benefits, the convincing skills,
Okay.
and
Fair.
for few it might not be possible.
Okay. Okay.
The,
Okay. Mamta.
Yeah, I can salesperson. I can interested this skills learning.
No, no. My question is, can everybody be a salesperson?
No, madam. No, no.
Okay. Rajinta?
That's what.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
everyone cannot become a salesperson, because one should read the mind of the others if he want to sell something to the others. That what perspective about the product or service he's feeling about that. So he's thinking positive or negative.
Mhm.
So regarding his opinion, we can go forward, and according to him, we can convince him and
Mhm.
sell him.
Okay. Okay. Radhika, what do you need to say on that? Radhika, you raise your hand. What do you need to say? Hi, are you there? All right. So let's go to something. Let's go something with the very basic things. Everybody, uh, just tell me one thing. When you were young, when you were just baby born, you used to cry.
Yes,
Did
yes.
you
Yes.
cry
yes,
when you were baby, like 2 months, 3 months old, 5 months old? Did your mother said you that you were crying when you were baby? Does your baby cry when you have them in hand?
Yes. Of
Yes.
Correct.
course they do.
Now correct. Now tell me one thing. Do baby know how to speak?
No.
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 They,
No,
No, no.
no.
they're crying. What does crying means to them? A communication to you, correct?
Yes.
They are
Yeah.
communicating.
Yes. So are they communicating as in terms of, are they telling about their feelings? Are they telling about some kind of things? Nothing like that, right? They are demanding something out of you. Either they want to sleep, either they are hungry, or they have done some kind of susu potty, correct? So they are
Yes.
demanding
Yes.
something out of
Yes,
it.
yes.
They are selling something. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the person who doesn't know how to speak also knows what exactly they are demanding. So firstly, you have to understand from the core that everybody in the world is actually a salesperson. The problem is we have categorized the salespeople as in terms of the one that we do at home is not the selling, and the one we do outside where we get the money for it is a selling. That's where the problem arises. Now tell me, can everybody be a salesperson?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
See,
yes.
everybody has the power to be a salesperson. The only difference is we have created that mindset by hearing or listening to a lot of people that it is the most toughest job in the world. And trust me on it, it is the most simplest job in the world if you know something in deep about it. So let's get into another one which I want to I want you to think about. Now, if you can see on the slide, let's retrospect about your own self. Now, one thing is that you have to get into a personal mode. Now, think of a situation where you wanted something very much badly in life, but somehow the near and dears were not in favor of. But you somehow you convince them. What is that? It could be everybody's married here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the people are married here.
Yes, yes.
Sushma, you want to say something?
It will be convincing the others to accept the idea of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of marketing in other terms.
One second, please. There is some problem. This is not. One second, please. Okay. Niharika, when I shift the screen now, it is automatically coming into normal mode.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
From the current slide, if you can try once.
From here, it is not getting.
Press F5 if you want to slideshow. Otherwise, there's a button on the top. Center one from the current slide. If you can click onto that.
1 second. Now, if I go here,
Please share your screen. Your screen is not visible. Yes.
okay.
Do.
All right. Thank you so much. So think of a situation like this. Now, I'm so sorry to interrupt in between. So can you think of a situation where you wanted something very, very badly in life? It could be a career, it could be a boy, it could be some sort of travel, it could be anything. But your near and dear ones were not very convinced on that, but you convinced them. Yes, Radhika, please.
It's sales only.
It's what?
Sales.
No, exactly. That is a sales only. But my question is, what is that situation?
It's a marketing.
No. Priya, my question is, think about a situation. Was there any tough situation where you convinced the most difficult things to your near and dear ones, and now you have that in your hand?
Okay.
So for me, I'll give you an example. I belong to a Marwadi family. For us, studying was a very big thing for us. For us, my mother was a typical person and she wanted me to get married at the age of 22. So I fought with my parents stating that please allow me to study, because the future we are getting into, education is one thing that will survive your daughter. Secondly, the more the financial independence the daughter will have, the more she will be respected in the society. So this was one very strong fight with my near and dear ones.
Okay, telling the positive things about positive and negative things about that, and telling them more about the positive impact of the thing, and making the others to convince for that thing, right?
Yes, whatever you're saying,
Yes.
absolutely. My question is, tell me the situation
Yes,
for
I
that.
had a
Yes,
yes,
please.
I had a situation after my completion of MBA, and I got married, and and it took for me this many years. Um, Even I got pregnant and got 2 kids, and now I got some freedom to
Hmm.
again restart my career, and now I am here for this.
Yes, correct. So this is one thing that you were convinced of because you wanted to get back to the track, because you wanted to utilize your time and you wanted to earn, right?
Yes,
Correct. Now tell me, who are the most difficult people in the world to convince? Are they not the people who are from
ourselves, ourselves. We should convince first.
first? And the second one are the near
Yes,
and dear ones. Your
yes,
parents, your siblings, these are the people who are the most difficult people to get convinced, because the people outside the world will accept your credibility, but the people inside the home are the most difficult one. They will not agree what you say till the last breath. No, you are doing wrong. Right or wrong? Tell me, I want to hear it.
Very much
Yes,
so.
ma'am.
Right.
Truly,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
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 yes.
Yes,
That's
yes,
true.
right.
yes.
So, so the question is, if you can convince somebody who are the most difficult people in the world, so why are you so afraid of the people who are sitting outside, who are there to take your product or services, who have the money to pay? Why have you that? Why that kind of mentality or the mindset that, oh, boss, I cannot be a salesperson? My first intention to talk about all of this stuff is to tell you, see, getting into sales could be far more easier. What is the most difficult part is to understand and convince yourself first that you are the right person.
Yes.
That is exactly where I'm coming from. Do you agree on this?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes,
you have to believe to the core first that you are a salesperson. Second, you have the credibility and the capability to get into that. And let me also give you one very strong, important point when it comes to sales. As we all are females here, there are very less females in the world who are into sales business. So you always have an added advantage to get into the market and create your niche at this very point of time. Are you getting what am I trying to tell you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
Great. Now, there are secrets of good selling. Everybody has a secret. You must have come across with a lot of YouTube channels which says, oh, I have a secret of this masala which gives you a good recipe. Right?
Right.
Oh, I have secret
Yes.
of something which will make your child from, he will love maths at certain point of time. I'm sure you must have come across with everything. So there is always secret of good selling. So these are the only goods there. These are the only secrets of good sellings which you can see on the screen. You have to honestly care for the people. Now, when I was asking you this question, what was that situation where you wanted to convince somebody in your life that you want that thing in the life? So what was that you were talking about? You genuinely cared for yourself. You genuinely care for the people that it is not going to harm them. So when you talk about the selling, when you go in the market and you sell any kind of product or service, you have to first believe that you care for the people and the product and the service that you would be giving and offering to them are really going to help them to achieve whatever they want to do. The second one is your intent has to be always clear. See, sale is something where if the intent goes wrong, the sales goes wrong. It is tried and tested phenomena from so many years. If the intention is to earn the incentive, if the intention is to sell the product, then it doesn't work that way. The intention should be always that whatever thing am I selling, whatever, it could be anything. Is that going to benefit to other person? That is one intent. You should always keep in mind. The next thing is that you have to work that with customer, and when it comes to involving or working with customer or determining, you have to understand what is in the mind of the potential customer. Now I'll give you an example. This is an example which happened with me. This is a very personal example. Now, after my baby, I have put on very much of weight. I have put on around like 15 to 20 kilos of weight. I'm pretty comfortable with my weight. Now, have you seen West Side, everybody? I'm sure everybody would have gone to a website, West Side, a
Yes.
Tata firm. Now you have
yes,
Indian wear, you have a Western wear, you have lipstick, you have bags, you have child wear, you have everything there in that one brand, correct? Now, in Bangalore, where I stay, there are two entries to West Side. Okay. Now, from West one entry, there is always an Indian attire which I can get into, and from one entry there is a Western pair. Okay. Now, what happened was I was on a particular floor from where I got into the West Side. Now, what happened as I being always into Indian attire, and I was just being in the flow of my just getting into, I started looking for the Indian attire. I just started looking some sort of stuff. Now, what happened was the salesperson who was actually standing there, she came and just asked me, you might get your size at that point of time. There's this side, you won't get over here. Now, I was very furious at that point of time Because my mindset was to not buy an Indian attire. I have reduced 2 kilos and I was very happy for it. So I wanted to buy a Western attire. But she did not ask me that. She just told me that your size would be at this corner of the west side. Now, this is where I got furious and I got out of that west side at that very moment, because it was kind of like I was not asked what I want. So what could be the potential thing she could have done? Are you looking for an Indian attire or are you looking for something else? Is there something that you are looking for? Can I help you with that? Are you specific with kind of brand? Is this the first time or second time? What is your budget? She could have asked me 110 questions before she would have jumped into my conclusion whether I want an Indian attire or a Western attire. Are you
Or it
getting?
could be for someone else.
Huh?
Or it could be for someone else, a gift that you are buying.
Exactly, Rena. So this is how you have to just understand the mind of the potential customer. This is the whole game of good selling. Why do they want it and what do they want it? What I wanted and why I wanted was not even questioned by me. I was just on my physical appearance. I was given an answer that my size would be given. Now, don't you think this is a turn off for a customer who has just walked in? And frankly, I'll tell you, that day I had around 5 to 7,000 of money to just spend on. It could be a income to west side which they lost because of a person's, without even asking the question, just answering me. Are you people with me? Are you understanding?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Does
understood.
that not happen with you?
Yes, and it's very humiliating.
Yes, it is humiliating, and you subconsciously you get turned off, and then you don't realize it, but you don't buy from that place.
That's what they do. They judge the book by the cover.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Rena. So this is a secret of good selling, nothing more than that. There are only two words. What do they want and why do they want? If you start understanding any person, why do they want, you have got the jackpot of good selling. Why? Why is a very, very important word. Why are you here is a question, right? Because maybe you want to get back to your career. Maybe because you want to start earning for yourself. Maybe because you want financial independence. Maybe because you don't want to ask money from your husbands even if you want to spend 5,000 rupees. It could be any number of whys. Yes, Shruti, you have raised your hand.
No, I'm sorry, that was by mistake. I was agreeing with your point.
All right. Thank you so much. So this is one thing. Now tell me, who thinks they are made for sales profession and still who thinks they are not made for sales profession? Now I want you to open your screenshot, open your photos and let me know. Switch on your cameras. I'm so sorry for that. Now tell me, who thinks they are made for sales profession and they're not still made for sales profession?
We are all made
We
for
are all
sales
made for
profession.
sales profession.
We are all made for
We are
sales
all
profession now.
made for.
Thank you so much for believing that fact. And I'm telling you in the capital letters, women always have an added advantage in sales profession because first we know and we understand why people are there. We understand the intention very fast compared to male because our logical reasonings work very fast. And the second important part is there are very less females in the female in the sales fraternity till now. And from here till 2035, there would be so many females in the sales. But if you start doing it now, you will have an added advantage of more than 10 years of experience. Believe on me. All right. So let's understand that you have to learn the rules like the pro so that you can break it like an artist. It's a very old saying. So if you want to go something against for, you need to learn the rules very clearly, right? So let's start it. So everything has a process, okay? You have to understand that sales also have process. If you follow the process, the sales will come as a result. But if you do not follow the process, it will never come. Now, if I ask you what is your intention when you get into sales, people will say, oh, I need to have an incentive. Oh, I need to have this much of dealing. Oh, I need to have this much of, oh, I need to have this much of conversions. Oh, I need to have this. I need to have that. But if I ask them, do you follow the sales process? They do not even know what is sales process. Now, what is sales process? If you can see on the screen, first one is prospecting and qualifying. The second one is preparation and the pre-approach. The third one is approach. Then you have the presentation. Then you have overcome objections, closing the sales, and follow-up. Right? So there are 7 steps of sales process. Always remember. The first one is prospecting. Now, what is prospecting according to you? You tell me what you understand by prospecting.
Prospecting is the more chances of getting them as the making the customer to buy the product. They more chance become the customer.
I'm sorry, I missed out. Who, Priya? Yes, tell me, please.
Prospect means more chances of becoming the customer.
Yes, more chances of becoming a customer. How do you identify that?
If they are inquiring about the product, or if they are trying to asking about the product and trying to buy the product, means they are identified as the leads. So they might be the want to be buy the product, means they are not buy it, but they are showing the interest, means they are the prospect.
Okay. So you have used the 2 words over here. One is a lead and one is a prospect. You have used both words over here. So what is the difference between a lead and what is the difference between a prospect?
Prospect is they are just inquiring. But if they are willing to buy, means we are getting the details about the about them, right? So then they become the lead.
Okay, fair. Okay, have you heard about something called as Amway ever in your life?
Yes, yes.
How do you like that product?
The product is good, but it's pricey.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now the question is to you: how people have people have approached to you for the Amway? There is also one more brand along with Amway which has a green color. Herbalife.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I'm sure there would be some point of time somebody were connected for Herbalife or Amway.
Yes, yes.
Is there anybody in this group who has left out of not getting connected?
No.
No, everybody got connected by some way or the other. So what are these people doing?
They're identifying the people who need it or
Prospecting.
They are just
Convincing.
prospecting. They are just prospecting. They have identified this is my product. This is what I have to sell. This has been bought by a woman or a male, because most of the people by Amway who is buying the product is basically females, not the males. There are few percentage who in the male category who buys. So when it comes to female, wherever they find it, they start prospecting it. Prospecting is the first step of a sales process. Now, why do we do that? Because ultimately they want to sell your product to them, their product to you first.
Yes.
And secondly, they know that this is going to be benefited to you. See, Amway is a very good brand. It does have a good effect on the body. If you believe into supplements, it does have a lot of good factors on that. And they believe into the product, stating that this is going to ultimately help you when you're going to be in the age of 35, 36, 40, 45, 50. Because this is something which we have been doing it. So prospecting is something which is actually identifying and engaging with the potential client or a customer who have the higher probability of getting into or interested into your product or services with the ultimate goal of the conversion. Now, one thing you remember, all the females out here, no matter how much you have good rapport with somebody, no matter how much good relationship you build with somebody, when it comes to sales, number speaks. It's always the number. That is the only differentiation that you have with your personal sales to professional sales. In the professional sales, you need to have numbers. It has to be visible. So the ultimate goal of any sales would be to have a conversion. This is a thumb rule of sales, and it has to be very highly highlighted in the frontal part of your brains, right? So this is one thing. Now, what is the reason? Why do we prospect? We target towards the sales conversion. We have a qualified leads. We focus on the sales funnel. Now, let's not get into this. I'll talk about it little later. Now, first understand after prospecting. Now, you have, suppose I reach out to Rena. I am an MBA person. I have a product of MBA. I believe into the product. I see Rena somewhere in a garden, and I just say her, "Hi Rena, how are you? How's things going on? So what you do?" I have a good communications with her, and then slowly and subtly I say her, "Okay, I'm a person who talks about MBA, and I believe into MBA." Now Rena says, "Yeah, I heard about it." Now you have to understand that even if I'm your prospect to you, you have to qualify me, that whether I can be a purchaser or not. Now there is a framework to it that is called as a BANT, BANT. That's called as a budget, that called as an authority, that calls as a need, and that's called as a time. You have to understand in the sales process that if you want your sales to get into a conversion mode, if you do not do this 4-step at the start of your sales, you are bound to lose that sales. Now, Rena says to me, "Oh, I'm pretty much interested. I've heard about the bend. No, I've heard about the MBA very well. Oh, it has amazing protein. It has amazing this and that." But did you happen to ask a question? Firstly, do you have a need for it? Need, how do you understand the need? Or do you have any challenges? How many people are there in the family? Do you work? How do you take care of your nutrition? Or how is your child eating everything? Are you worried about the nutrition part of it? So these are the questions which actually gives you an answer whether she has a need or she doesn't have a need. If most of her answer is no, then she doesn't have a need. She is not a qualifying customer to you for the future. Maybe at this very point of time, she is not the one. So you can put this lead into the future one. But at this very moment, she might not pick up your product. Are you getting that? So
Yes.
first you have to understand whether she has the need or not. Now the second part is that, does she has the budget? You know your product well. You know it is expensive than the comparatively in the market. So does she has a budget? Oh, she has a need. She wants the protein. She wants the multivitamins. She wants whatever what she needs, all the cosmetics that you're selling over there. But the moment you say, "Oh, my protein powder for 1 kilo is 4,000 rupees," and she's like, "Oh, I'm take one. I don't know I would be able to pay that much of money or not." But then what you say at the end of the day, what you must have heard or what you must have heard from your people is that, "Oh, if she would have not, she did not have the money, she would have not even she should not have gone ahead," correct? But the question as a salesperson is, it is not her job to tell you whether I have the money or not. As a salesperson, it is your job to understand, does she has the capacity to pay or not? That's very, very important. The third part is, does she has the even she there are a lot of females I have seen in the world who have amazing budget. They can spend by their own money, but they do not have the authority to spend. They always have have a discussion with their husbands or family members whether I should be doing this or whether I should be not doing this. So do they have the authority to buy your product? Is there anybody else also who is involved in the decision making? Oh, if she says, "Oh, I have the need, I have the budget, but I need to go and ask to my husband whether we need this product or not." So now the authority goes to the husband. Now you have targeted a wrong person, because even she has the money, she cannot pay because she has to always consult by somebody, maybe in her house. That is a status. That's okay. Everybody has a different state of house. But it is your responsibility to find out whether she is the only one person who takes a decision, or it is something who always need a guidance, or she has to discuss with somebody else. And the last one is fourth, there's a time. Is it now she's going to buy, or is she thinking about the future? People say, "Oh, I have the budget, I have the authority, I have the need, but I don't want to buy this time. I have other priorities. Maybe I'll buy another month." So this 4 things, that is budget, authority, need, and time, are the first 4 steps when it comes to qualifying. And if, let me tell you, if one of the answer is no, then that person cannot be your sales conversion for this very month. It can be a future prospect, but at this very point, that is not a person. So you need to get very clear on this 4 front. पैसा है, authority है, need है, time है. And this has to be done at the start of the session only of a sales process, so that you understand how much time you have to invest in that one particular prospect, which is going to give you a sales conversion. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. Yes.
Correct?
Right.
Yes,
Now,
you're right.
exactly. Now I'll tell you another part of it. Now you all go for shopping, right? Now the way you shop, you sometimes go, I'm sure this would have happened to you when you go. I'm specifically using a lot of retail shopping because we love retail therapy. Females love retail therapy. So sometimes we just go to mall, right? And we just wander around in some of the shops and everything, right? Have you observed that there are sometimes people who understand that they don't even come and ask you what you want?
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you feel bad about it?
No.
Yes.
No, no.
Sometimes I feel.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, okay, fair. So you know the reason why? Because they understand at one point of time, either you do not have the need or you do not have the budget. So they don't invest their energy of something they know that you're not going to purchase. They will save their energy, they'll do their work, something. They keep on doing something on their laptop only. But they will not get up from your laptop and come and ask you again and again, are you looking for something? But if you are there with your husband or you are there to purchase something, they'll ask you, when do you want it? Acha, aap abhi lene wale ho kya? And basically they start giving you a lot of descriptions about certain things, and they keep on questioning in between where they start getting the answers for all the 4 things only. Their objective is to find out this first 4 things only from you. And then based on that, they will keep on changing and shuffling the situations. Right? So this is the thing. Any questions still here? Did you got this concept of prospecting and qualifying? The first one is a lead, right? The first one is a lead. The second one is the prospecting. I saw somebody, oh, he or she could be a lead for my MBA. Now I'm prospecting. I'm trying to talk with that person. Now I'm qualifying whether this person is going to be my purchaser or not. Right?
Correct. Yes, yes, correct.
So now this is called as first step. Now we come to the second step, which is called as preparation and a pre-approach. Now you need to understand in sales, one thing is very, very important. You have to prepare. First, there are 2 segments to prepare. The first segment of preparation is about your company, your product, your service, your benefit, edge over the competitors, what you offer compared to competitor, how it is going to benefit to the customer, why customer should buy. This is one angle of preparation, which is from the company. The another angle is to understand from your customer's preparation. You have to start gaining lot of information from them, and you have to understand before you make a sales pitch. Now, I'll tell you, I'm sure this would have also come across to you many a times. You would have come to LIC person across if you have ever sat with them. It's not good or bad with them. I'm not just saying that. But these people are very famous of not even understanding that whether you want this product or not, but they'll keep on talking about their product. This is good, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good. They will not even ask. They have not prepared what is the requirement that you have. They have not even asked, do you have any other requirements? This exactly called as sales vomit in the sales industry. So you have to get relevant information from the sales, from the prospect. As much as information you get from them, the more clearer you get, the more hit lines you can have so that the conversion is faster. Otherwise, you'll beat around the bush. You will not know what the customer wants or the client wants, and you don't know where to hit the button. If you retrospect yourself, all the buying that you have done is not on the convincing of that salesperson. It's always on that one or two lines which directly hitted your mind. It's always that one or two lines only. You're like, this is going to solve my problem, let's buy it. Right or wrong?
Right.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So exactly this is something that you need to do. And when you need to do this, you have to also understand that you need to ask questions. Now, understand how do you prepare yourself when it comes to a perspective. Now, this is a very general example I'm giving to you. This is not as per what you would be doing at Herky, but I'm giving you an example. If suppose you get absorbed by Herky for a future, so you have to understand this as a total sales process. So how do you prepare? Read the complete website of an individual if they have if they have a website when it comes to business. Read what they read. If suppose you are dealing with somebody from the retail industry, so you have to understand, if I am from a retail, what kind of magazine a retail person reads. Read from where they get their source of knowledge. Scroll their media handles, social media handles. Trust me, it does help you. I'll give you an example over here. Get to know who are your main key person to the company and their achievements, what they have done. Okay, understand what is their main core business. How is the industry performing? How is the total industry performing? These are some of the questions you have to keep on, and this comes with the flow. Don't get scared with this. This comes with the flow. The more you get into the sales, the more you will start doing it by your own self. Now, I'll tell you one example which was there when I was into sales. So there was one client, okay, he was a CEO of a company, which could be a 50 crores company. Okay, this is a real example with me. So I had, at that point of time in 2014, I was having a very strong habit of actually scrolling down to their social media handles to the depth somehow. Now what happened was, this client, I knew he had the budget, he was the authority, he has the need, he has the time, and he wants to grow. But that client was just not saying me yes. He was just ghosting me around. Why? Okay, we'll talk tomorrow. Everything was perfect with him, but there was something which was wrong from his part. He was just not giving me a yes or a no. He was either not saying me no also, not even yes also. So actually, I was scrolling his website or his social media on Facebook. I saw last year he went to Dubai. Before that year, he went to Singapore. Before that year, he went to the Nepal. Before that year, he went to some other country, but which was also an Asian country. So I was like, why, if he's so rich, why is he not going to Europe? Why is he not going to Europe? If he has the money, what is stopping him to go to Europe? Because Europe is more expensive than Europe and Dubai. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right.
Correct? So
Yeah.
the
Yes,
next call that I actually had with him, I just asked him one question. I understand his name was Rajan. I asked him, Mr. Rajan, I have only one question. I don't know why are you not giving me a yes or a no? I know that you have an intention of growing. Why don't you think this way, that this year you might have a trip to Europe compared to Dubai, Singapore, or maybe Nepal? Maybe your family would be much more happier. But for that, you need business. And for that, you need to give me business first. And this is how it is going to benefit you. Believe me, that was the day he signed the contract before 6 o'clock in the evening. And this call, I still remember, it was 11:30 in the morning. He said, let's do it. One hit line based on the social media. Because I started thinking, what is stopping him? He had everything on place. But why is he not saying yes? Because that punchline was not, something was not triggered in him. That triggered was from the social media handle, because he actually never went to Europe and he had that intention of going to Europe. But Europe always have a higher budget, and he had 2 children. So of course the budget would be 16 to 17 lakhs, which he needs money for. Do you get that? This is just the sale. One right button and there is a perspective. So your first step has to be done clearly. Second is you have to prepare. And for that preparation, you have to understand these are stuff. And it comes very naturally. Trust me, it comes very naturally if you start loving that. Do you have any questions still here? Are you understanding it? Are you enjoying it? Are you getting into that zone?
Thinking a lot
Yes.
about what you
Yes.
said.
So
Yes.
what are you thinking?
No, it needs a lot of thought process to understand the hit button, right hit button, as you said. So it comes probably with experience or with the flow of action. So just thinking,
Yes.
it is so much like a novel.
Yes. And okay, let me give you another side of it also. And this is a glorified one, which is really a fact of me. But let me also give you one aspect of it. When I started my sales career, my first conversion was after 500 call. So does that make you happy now?
Not happy. It
You should
shows
be happy because
it shows your intense level of not giving up.
yes,
So it needs lot of patience and maturity to get over it.
it just needs
Motivation.
to be consistent. That's all. You don't need to be mature at that point of time. You just need to be consistent and you believe. You have to just believe on one thing, that your product or services is really good and it is going to benefit the person who is going to buy it. I believed into all the companies that I'm working with. Before, if I don't believe, I used to never work for that company. So my intentions were very clear. Just remember one thing. If you as a person, you know what happens as a salesperson is we are very scared. Oh, how am I looking? Oh, how is my presentation? Oh, how he is not going to buy me? If he suppose doesn't talk to me, if he says rude words to me, you have to also understand the other side's perspective. He is very scared also. If this is not a product for them, if we pay you, what will happen? So you have
Yes,
to also understand from
yes,
that angle also, no?
correct.
So how much you are scared now? He's also scared at that point of time that way also. So you have to understand that you have to control your scaredness. You have to be prepared. You have to be pre-approached. You have to believe your product. You have to understand that whatever I'm selling to that person has a need and it is going to solve the problem that they're facing. Trust me, you will come to a point where he starts talking about it.
Yes.
So this is the thing. Now there is an approach step. Have you seen people coming and saying you, hello, what do you want? Hello,
No.
ma'am. You go in the market in the evening at 8 o'clock, people like, what do you want, sir? Even you go to that Pani Puri wala in the evening, he's tired, he's not even smiling at you, but in the evening, he'll smile at you. See the
Yes.
Yes,
difference.
yes.
See the difference next time you go to eat at Pani Puri in the outside, you know, you go at 5 o'clock, he'll be welcoming you, he'll look into your eyes, he will give you some extra puris also. But at 9 o'clock, if you go and when he's shutting down, he's tired, he will not even smile at you.
True.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Step of salesperson, no matter what time are you in, how much tired you are,
Hello.
you take care of your health, but you need to smile. Smile is a universal truth. Smile is a universal acceptance. And no matter what, it doesn't go wrong. It doesn't go wrong. Even if if somebody asks you about that, oh, what do you think about Ranjita? She's good or not? And if you smile, that will give you a understanding whether you want to say yes or no. Let the person be confused. So smile is a universal fact. Please smile. One thing, learn in by heart in your sales. Smile, smile, smile. And everybody has a beautiful smiles. और वैसे भी हम लोग तो एक बार स्माइल कर दे तो हजार लोग हमारे पीछे आ जाते हैं. No matter which age we are in. Correct? Yes, Shushma, you want to say something? Shushma, you raise your hand. Okay, I think she must be trying something. So secondly, greet warmly. So when you get onto the floor by Herky, when you actually start working on them, even if you work for 2 hours, even if you're tired for the day, please greet warmly. Say with that intention that, boss, I am here to help you out. You are coming to the right hands. Greet warmly. Secondly, ask right questions by understanding customers' needs and pain points. Initially, I don't know how much this would be effective to you when you join the Herky, But when you get absorbed by the hierarchy on the full-time basis, or when you go to another job where you pick up a sales, you have to understand the key to sales is to ask the right questions. If you don't ask the right questions, you will never get a right answer. Never. People, everybody, even me also, if nobody will ask me right question, I will manipulate the answer. I have no right and no intention of answering the questions to anybody. So you need to ask the right questions. You need to understand what is the pain point of an individual and what is the product that, what is that your product is going to solve it. Learn more about the customer. Ask from him, what is the problem? How is thing going at your end? Have a rapport building with him. Understand about the customer more. Whatever your product or service could be. Try and understand and gather information by asking right question about a client. You have to next understand is that sales always need a follow-up. No sales in the world can be done without a follow-up. Now you ask yourself, have somebody come to your doorstep and have you given that moment the sale to that person? No, you have not given that sales to that person immediately, because you go back, you think whether you want to invest the money, is it a requirement, is it a need? You do every need analysis, and then you say after 2 or 3 times, when they keep on calling you, whether you want to go ahead or not. So if you have not done it, please don't expect other people to give the sales at that very moment, because the world works exactly the way you work. Right? But let me just give you an understanding to another set of follow-up is that there are different industry. So there is a edtech industry, there is a manufacturing industry, there is a real estate industry, and every industry requires different type of follow-up. So edtech industry might require 5 to 7 kind of follow-ups. Real estate requires, which has a higher investment, which requires around 15 to 20 follow-ups. So whichever industry you are in, depending on that industry, number of follow-ups changes. What is follow-up?
To check, to ask.
To check for
I'm
their
sorry.
interest.
Yes, to check with their interest, or you ask them, are we close to closing the deal? Are you looking forward to have the purchase today? So basically to have the purchase, reaching out to customer to close the deal. That is follow-up. Correct. Say thank you note, personalized interaction. Personalized interaction has become very, very important. You people all have Gmail?
Yes, we
Yes.
have.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Now, yes, correct. Now, just asking you this question, I'm sure there would be in your promotion, or it could be in your updates, you must have seen. Now, the promotion has started coming, Dear Sharmila. And then there is a SBI, details about it. Or Dear Pooja, or Dear Tina. They have started personalizing your name. Have you seen these kind of emails coming to your inbox?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
This is personalized interaction. You need to get personalized with
To
every
address their
call
name.
that you make. Yes, Sharmila, you were saying something.
Yeah. I said
Yeah.
to address with their name.
Yes, this has started coming to you.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
No, when
Now,
you said
does
about
that,
personalized mails, I said we have to write mails addressing with their name. That's what I was mentioning.
yes, this is one thing.
Yeah.
When you put up a mail, but when it comes to a bulk messages, even that also they are personalizing
Yeah,
your
that was.
mail
Yeah.
name. Correct?
Yes.
Especially, let me tell you, after COVID, people have started getting more into personalization when it comes to sales. The whole mindset game has changed after COVID. Now, I'll tell you one mindset, which you might agree or you might not agree. Let me know about it. Now, before COVID, what happened was, as an individual or as a female, we wanted to make everybody happy. We want to have 100 of friends. We wanted to be with everybody, this group, gym group, kitty party group, this group, that group, correct? And we were trying to be balancing most of these things. After COVID, if you have really sat down and retrospected yourself, you must have understood that you became content in yourself and you said, I need only these few people in my life to survive. Apart from this, you have you had drawn a line where you don't want to go ahead of them. You keep an interaction with them, but you don't go ahead with them.
True.
Has
True.
it
Yes.
changed?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to ask you one thing, Sharmila. Why are you standing? Is this some exercise that you're doing in between?
My younger son comes at 2:30, so
Okay.
I was feeding him lunch. Now my elder son has come home, so I'm giving him lunch.
Okay. Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
Actually, 3 to 5 is not a viable time for me, but still,
Mhm.
since it's scheduled, I'm trying to attend it.
Sure. Thank you so very much for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is something that has changed in us. We started becoming more content in ourselves. We started prioritizing peace over everything. We started changing the mindset that we had earlier before COVID. COVID has changed a lot of stuff. Now, COVID has changed the way people are thinking, and that has a direct implication on the sales also. So that's the reason people have started interacting very personalized message after specifically COVID. You agree? Do you disagree?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So this is exactly what has happened. So you have to keep these approaches. You have to smile. Always remember, smile will never go wrong. Greet warmly. Ask right questions by understanding customer needs and pain point. So there are two words over here. One is a need and one is a pain point. So whenever you sell any of the product or whenever you approach by any of the product or service, there are two aspects, whether I need it or I have a problem which has to be solved. Right? Now, giving an example, you have a lipstick, that's a need for you. That's not a pain point, but having a specific color on that, that could be a pain point. So you keep on changing the brands to get that specific color, that suits your skin tone. Right? So that's a need and the pain point. Learn more about the customer, follow up, send thank you notes, personalized interaction. Now everything done. You have the band, you did the pre-presentation, you understood the customer, you approached it. Now come the power of presentation, where you're presenting, when you're talking about your product or a service. Now you have to understand one thing. You are salesperson, okay? You are not their slaves. Get this very clear in your heads. You are presenting something which is there in the market and that is going to solve their problems. So the balance between the give and the take has to be very, very nice. The problem in the market or the image that a salesperson has have is that if I am the person who is buying if I'm the person who is buying any product or a service, what happens if Priya is selling me something? Oh, she can do whatever she wants if I tell her to do. No, Priya shouldn't do that. You know why? Because there has to be balance between, if I am the taker, you are the giver. There has to be balance. Whatever I say, it has to have a balance to it. But the mindset is that why people also don't want to become a salesperson is because the thing is, if you're a salesperson, I can ask and demand anything that you want. I want, and you have to give me because I'm paying you the money for that. No, it doesn't work that way anyway. If you want this career with that reputation, with that image, always maintain the balance. What, when, how much can you give based on the company has given you the leverage on. Now, these are some of the presentations techniques that you can do. Share first about your company. Your credibility always is built up by the company. Company creates their image. So you have to share who, what, when, where, how about your companies. You have to build that credibility and have that faith in yourself that you're working for one of the best companies. So Herky is one of the good companies when it comes to women working, coming back on the floor. So you take the proud that you are calling from Herky, and this is something going to help you. So you have to know and you have to present your company at the utmost respect. Most of the salespeople in the market I have seen in my career is that they do not respect their company at all. They just say, oh, this is a product which is good, but my company is not good. No, don't do that ever in your life. Because that is the absolute wrong thing. Secondly, tell stories. Talk about overall successful engagement with the cinema customers, not mentioning the names. If suppose you have a product or a service, if somebody has really got benefited to it, please talk about their success. Please talk about how it has helped them. Please talk about the examples that you can share with them. Please tell them what were their needs and how it is going to help. Because the more you give them the example, the more you tell them how it is solving somebody's problem, the more it gets into their minds. Show a demo. If your product or service has a demo always works when it comes to presentation. Always. Right? Share specific case studies. If you know some specs, now it is when I talk about this power of presentation, let me tell you, girls, and it is not about just from one perspective. I'm talking from any perspective. Now, if I talk about a show or demo, now you cannot show a demo in MBA. You cannot show a demo on Herky. You can show a demo on vacuum cleaner. So if people on the vacuum cleaner always tell you or insist you to show, can I show you a demo? Would you like to see the product? So you have to understand which industry you are in. If your industry gives you that scope of showing the demo, please show the demo, because people buy more through the visibility. Take a break to check in. And what does that mean? Now I am doing a presentation and I keep on talking about my product XYZ, 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 but I'm not taking a breath to ask a question. Do you have a question, sir? Do you have a question, madam? Do you want to talk about something else? Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Is this really your problem? Is it solving your problem? So take a break to check in. Highlight your company prospects, company name, logo, and what you know about them to show about your research. Now, this is something when you give a presentation, when it comes to business. Now, if suppose I'm giving a presentation to a company, now I have to also understand if I am very important, my company is very important, my company has a reputation. At the same time, that company has a reputation, that company's logo is very important, that company has its own credentials in the market. So you have to also show them the credibility that, see, I have done your research and this is how important for me, I'm so sorry, how important it is for me to understand that, see, this is how I have researched for you. So these are some of the tricks you have to keep on doing in presentations. Presentation is exactly where you talk about your product or service. Right?
Right.
Do anybody have questions on this?
No.
All right. So now let's talk about the next step, which is called as the overcome of objections. Okay, now first and foremost, do you think objection comes from the 7th step or 5th step? No, objection comes from right from the first step.
Okay.
Objection comes from the very first step. Now, I was just interacting with some one of my friend yesterday, and she was just talking about her experience to retail industry. So she is one of the person who follows a certain lipstick shades when it comes to L'Oreal. Okay, so she went to a retail industry and she was like, oh, I wanted this shade for L'Oreal, but unfortunately there was no product available at that very point of time. Now, what happened was the salesperson who was there at that point of time, there could be two situations here. First situation, she would have said, no, the product is not there. Maybe once it comes, can you just give me your data? I will give you a call and you come back. The second is that she listened to what that person was saying. Now, based on that, she was trying to understand why she's so particular about that product. Maybe she could have asked some questions. Oh, do you follow this product only? Or do you use this only? Are you not looking for any other change? Can you try something else? So she could have asked some questions. She asked some questions over there. And there was a response of the person who actually said, okay, let me try. I have a nearer shade on this. Maybe from not the same brand, but that will also suit to you if you're so particular with this color and the shade of this particular brand. Let me at least give you a try. At least you can check on this. So there was a response. And then there was a confirmation by that person. Okay, I probably I'm liking this shade and I will buy this shade. So one of my friend actually bought that shade on that. So first thing you have to understand as an individual is that we all, including me on the capital letters, we listen to respond. When just tell me, when your husband says you something, do you listen to him or do you have an answer before he keeps quiet?
Depends on the situation.
Yes, but most of the time.
We'll listen.
Really? So
Okay.
maybe then I am little different, because when he says, I always have an answer beforehand only. Okay, now I will say what he has to say, because I have to actually get into the argument and build the argument.
Very much true.
Right, Shruti? You believe this?
Yeah, I believe it.
We always have an answer beforehand only. If we have a fight with a neighbor, we will not listen to what they have to say. We are always there with the answer before only. If she says me this thing, now I will give you this answer only.
Correct.
I do not know about neighbors, but with husband, it is very much true.
Yeah, that will be in the mind.
Yes, so we always answer. We always listen, not to understand the situation. We always listen to actually just answer. We all have this kind of mindset only, and that is where the whole problem arises. Because we lack empathy. We Asian people, I'm repeating myself, it's not Indian people, it's Asian people. We Asian people basically lack empathy. We don't listen to listen, we listen to answer, because first, we lack empathy. Secondly, we have unrealistic egos. For what reason, I don't know. I'll give you one thing which has broken this thing of mine. You have seen the universe? There is one world, Earth. In that Earth, there is one country called as India. In that, whichever city are you in from, in that one city, you have one colony. In that one colony, there is one dot. You can actually put it like that, this dot. And this is your home or this is your place, which is still not visible here. But still the ego that we have is very high. Does that hurt you?
Yep.
It should.
Yep.
That's the only reality check. So please listen to understand, not to react. Understand, respond, and then confirm. Most of the objections when it comes to personal, professional, sales, growth, everything will be taken care of. So this is one thing. The next is closing the sales. The last step is closing the sales. Once you have done everything, you have prospect, you have lead, you have prospect, you have qualified, you qualified on bent, you have pre-approach, you did the pre-approach, you have questioning, then you did approach to them, you smile, you greet, you did everything. Then you actually present your product or service, whichever you are doing. Then you actually overcome your objection. Everything done very, very properly. Everything is going right. Now comes the point when it comes to closing the sales. If you do not close the sales, no matter what you have done in the past of the series, nothing is going to be fulfilled. Because one thing, remember, at the end of the day, sales talks number. Even if you made best of the friends during the conversation with them, but if they are not giving you the money to your company, it is not a sales. First, always remember, sales doesn't happen if you don't ask for the sales. You have to ask them. Can we move to the next step? Would you like to close it today? Will you buy today? Okay, can we complete the formalities today? Can you sign the document? Whatever your action would be, whatever your action is, ultimately it has to get completed. Remember, you have to ask for the sales. Second, sending through the cost. You have to understand that this is the cost that is going to incurred. And that should be very clear in their minds. They should not come back and say, oh, I was not prepared for this kind of costing. They should be knowing the cost and the value at the initial start only. Prepare to negotiate. We are people, no matter you are American, Australian, European, Indian, Sri Lankan, anybody. You have the right to negotiate. People negotiate. And negotiation is something that you should not be scared of. It's a most beautiful thing to do in the sales, because the more you negotiate, the more you are towards the closing of the sales. Prepare yourself to negotiate. Nobody will give you a sales except negotiation. Even today, if you go to any of the vegetable markets, you negotiate. Whoa, why it is so expensive? Can you do it at 20 rupees or 25 rupees? Even with that 30 rupees, you negotiate. So get prepared to negotiation when it comes to closing of the sales. Use the right closing techniques. Yes, Shruti?
No, I was just informing my kid not to get into a prank.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
No, my son is actually
Okay.
handling something, so I just inform him not to do it. Sorry.
Okay. So use the right closing technique. So let me tell you, on the 31st of July, we would be having different kind of closing technique that will help you how the mental status or the mindset of the individual works and what to use when and how. So on the 31st of July, we would be learning and we would be understanding different closing techniques. And then you have to always understand in sales, you have to follow up with your prospects. If you don't follow up with your prospect, there is not going to be a sales. If you look at an average number, any industry, minimum 5 follow-up is required. So don't be afraid to call up a person and say, okay, let's talk about business. Let's talk business. We actually had a conversation. You were pretty interested. This is something that will help you solve the problem. So what is that is stopping you of not getting into the conversion? So start calling up the people and start having the follow-up so that you have a conversions. So do you have questions still here? Not yet. Right, Amina. Thank you. Anybody else? Are you understanding what exactly the sales is? So now you have to understand one thing very clearly. All the participants over here is sales is simple. Just remember this word, sales is very simple. First, you have to understand what is the sales process. You have to get your sales process right from the very first step, that is qualifying. Then how do you prepare yourself? The second thing is how do you present your product or services? Then how do you approach to a client? And then how do you close a sales? You follow the process right, you are bound to happen the sales. ऐसा कभी नहीं हो सकता कि if you follow the process and you don't have a sales. It is practically not possible. I have never came across anybody who have done the process right and they have not closed the sales. And all the people you must have heard about who are doing amazing sales, or they are the star performer of the sales, or they are the high performer of the sales, they just do the sales process right. That's it. Sales is very simple. Sales is for everybody. Sales is amazing career. Sales. Okay, let me also tell you one thing. If I'll give you a homework, apart from this, there is one thing which I would like to give you add on to. If you go and do a Google research today, top 10 or top 15 skills required by 20235 or 2030. So you will come across as a soft skill, then you will have AI, artificial intelligence, then you will have data scientists, then you will have ML, then you will have something will come. Let me tell you, in that top 10, sales will also come. Because you have to understand one more thing. The more the world will go towards technology, like AI, ML, data scientists, the more there would be requirement of this good salespeople. Because the more people go towards technology, the less people have the interaction and people want to talk and understand from the salespeople. So this is a very added advantage when it comes to salespeople. Till the time we are there for this century, the sales is not going to go out of any industry. Everybody needs that human touch at the end of the day. Even if you buy from an Instagram, you always need somebody as a customer service to talk. if you have a problem. You don't talk to an AI. You don't talk to a chat GPT there. You don't talk to their chat AI. You tell them when there is a problem, can any customer representative can call? Please call. You call. Are you people getting me? What am I getting?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Are you agreeing what am I saying?
Yes.
Totally.
Do you believe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is how. So this is the first step of sales, the sales process, which is the first step. Do you have any questions before we get into the next step or understanding the next concept? Okay, so I take it as no. So now you have to understand the second one. The second one is called different type of selling. So there are 4 types of selling in the market. No matter whichever industry you are in, there are only 4 types of selling. The first one is called as an inbound selling. The second one is called as a outbound selling. The third one is called as a B2B selling. And the fourth one is called as a B2C selling. Can you see on the screen, everybody? So there are only 4 types of selling, no matter or irrespective of any industry. Now, what exactly this is? Now, inbound sales is called as a pull strategy. Now you tell me one thing, have you go to a car, if you want to buy a car showroom, or suppose you do you do like this, okay, okay, I'm getting bored, let's go to find out which is new car in the market. Let's go to some kind of car showroom. Do we normally do that?
No.
We don't do that. We never do that, right? So let me tell you why do not we do that? Because this is a very specific product or a service where when you have a requirement, then only you go to that, correct? So inbound sales is something when a potential client or a customer reaches to you, they are called as an inbound sales. Why do they reach to you? Either they have the requirement, they have the need, they have the want, they could be anything. It's called as a pull strategy. When you walk into any of the things, when you want something and you just get into the showroom, it is called as inbound. You are going to the company. The company is not coming to you. You are going to the company. Okay. Now that is called as a pull strategy. Now, first, have you understood this concept? Now, the thing is, it is customer centric. It focuses on value. It builds on trust. Now, let me tell you, even in the inbound strategies, it is not that I have a need and I just go into any of the car showroom or whatever I want. Here also, what people do is that they create content that way. They create advertisement in such a way, if suppose you have an intention of buying a new car or you want to upgrade your new car, they have that kind of advertisements in such a way that it creates a value in your mind and you say, why can't we explore this kind of car also, because it is coming into our budget, right? Now, this is the very high example of inbound strategies is that big time on Instagram. You open Instagram and everybody is inbound. Everybody is inbound. You talk about companies like Vastra. You talk. There are so many companies on Instagram where they give you, this ads come sale, sale, sale. You see on the Instagrams. They actually create that kind of content where you get carried away and you go and say, let me buy this product. They are creating a content based on understanding of your requirements. And then you go to them and buy. That's basically inbound. Any questions on that? Now, let's take an example of Colgate with that. Colgate came in India in 1990, correct? They came up with a very simple example. They came up with a very simple Colgate product. Now, you say they wanted to create a sales in the market. They wanted to have a market share in the market. They wanted to have an inbound sales strategy. What they did was they understood there is a problem and there is a need that people over here in the initial state used to have that datun, right? That neem wala datun, if you remember, our ancestor had that neem wala thing, that because in India, neem is considered to be most antibacterial property. So in 1995, as an inbound strategy through advertisement, they came with the mindset that in our paste we have neem. Now the people started getting into market and saying that we want a product of Colgate which has a neem. It was something that they wanted to buy. They went to buy in the product, but they bought, but it was done as a strategy by the Colgate that people come and started asking for that inbound as a neem, as a product. So you create inbound sales through through SEO, through advertisements, through the way you create a content, the way you talk, the way you showcase yourself on social medias. So all of these things are inbound. And Instagram is one of the example which is working very highly on inbound sales. So basically you create content, you have social media, you have blogs, you have referral, you have events, you have all of this in inbounds. Just think now, how does a doctor becomes famous? Inbound sales. Because you don't go on what Practo is telling them as 4.5, but if somebody next to you says that he is a good doctor for orthopedic, you will always refer to the friend, because that's a referral, that's an inbound sales. Right? So you create different ways of inbounds. You have to also do that. Now, let me just tell you on this, how do you do that? So you would be taking part in Harki. You know that there is a platform of Harki. You have to keep on following different people so that you understand who is the client. Ultimately, you have to give that to Harki, which has a conversion, and there is a money involved with this for your growth and success. Correct? Now, for that, what you do? You have to create blogs on Harki platforms. How do you do that is something that you have to think, because you have to create an inbound sales. There's two ways of doing it. Once the company will give you some kind of leads where you have to do a conversion, but you also have to understand that you have to create your own leads also. How would you create that leads? Because you need to create bloggings on the Harki platform where people start following up you, and understanding their following, you understand, is this my client or this is not my client? Are you there? So this is one thing. Now this is a process actually you follow with the inbound. So you attract, you convert, you close and delight. Now I'll give you a very good example of Instagram, which is called as a Bliss Club. Have you heard about this brand, Bliss Club?
Yes.
Yes, most of the people must have heard about this brand, Bliss Club, because they are doing some pants. You know, when you talk about an Indian female, we have a different structure. We have different kind of structures when it comes. So we have apple shape, we have this shape, we have that shape, correct? Now what happens is this brand, if you look in Instagram, Bliss Club, they came up with something called as very comfortable brands, comfortable pants for every size and every age group of the females. Okay, so they created, firstly they attracted these kind of word, like keywords where like this is fitment for everybody who stays in India. So whether it's a 25 years old girl or it's a 50 years old female, doesn't matter, my pant fits to everybody. They attracted the people. Bliss Club has become a multi-crore company in just a span of 2 years based on inbound sales. Believe on me, if you want, Google it, Instagram it right now. You will see that brand. It's so much there on the Instagram. So they actually attracted the customer. Then they said, why don't you just try our one product, which is a smaller product. It could be $7.99 or $8.99. So they had a call to action. They had a landing page. They said, this is a place where you can buy. Based on that, there was a follow-up session by them asking that, did you like the pants? Then they send you an email. Then they asked, somebody from their company called you up, understanding if the comfort is nice, yay, wo. And then there was a delight, and there was more purchasing of the Bliss Club. This is exactly how they have done only on one channel, which is called as Instagram. Google it up. This is one of the best example on the Instagram as of now. Right? Do you have any questions? Did you understood what is inbound sales? So when you work for Harki, you will have inbound sales. You will have you will have to have two kinds of sale. One is the outbound sale and one is the inbound sale. Now, what is an outbound sale is, first let's understand that. So suppose there are leads given to you, you have to call up that person and you have to understand whether this person is a right fitment or not. And then you have to pass those lead to somebody else and they would do the conversion for you. So cold calling is one of the outbound where you call the customer. So best of the examples over here is that you call the customer, the credit card people call you, or people who are giving the home loans, they call you. This is called as a cold calling. You call up people, you have the leads and you call up people. And trust me, even they have big time conversions. Email writing, door-to-door selling, event, social selling, in-person selling, these kind of things, when you approach the client, is called as a outbound sales. Now, to have the success or the more conversion, you need to have a combination of inbound and outbound sales both. And inbound, you have to write blogs. You have to understand that you need to get referrals. For that, you have to understand what are the keywords, how do you attract people, why should they trust you. So these are the inbounds. And outbounds, you have lead data, and you have to just keep on calling and understanding are they the right fitment or not. Sorry.
Sorry, Swati. Swati, you told that blogging and things that we'll have to do.
No, I'm not saying that you have to do. If you do that, that will also help you a lot.
Sorry, that's what I just wanted to know. When I come across telling it's a blogging, as I'm from a clerical, most into there is a system oriented process. So when this term blogging comes, how would you like to just give us an example, like how exactly? See, when I read something, I do not understand, is that a blogging? So I'm not clear about it. Can you just give your insight about it? As a new person, if we are looking for it, how should we create that content? Or when nowadays the words when used as for looking a job, it's very professionalism. It looks like it sounds very professionalism. Basically, I feel okay, we need to be from a literature background or maybe good in our presentation as in us vocabulary and things. So I just wanted to know how how does it go well?
Okay, not exactly. So let me first tell you there are 2 or 3 things which you have to understand. First is that there is a post. Post is basically for the social media. When you talk about the word called as blogging, blogging is something that you do on your own website, or there is a very high expertise of you that you're doing upon. So you blog on that. So suppose I say, okay, I am an expert person on sales, or I actually understand sales more than what other people understand. So I can have my website and I can have a blog on that because I have my viewpoints on that. That is exactly blogging. But what we do on the social media is majorly a post, not a blogging. Let me first clarify to you that. Second, let me tell you, you don't need to be good with literature to start a post. You just need to have a thought in your mind and you have to start writing it down. The more you write, the more finer you will get at one point of time. I'll give you one example. I'll show you something. Just 1 second, please. Okay, so if you can see this. So what happens is, 1 second. If you can see this, so this is a posting that I keep on doing every day on LinkedIn. Let me tell you, frankly, I would be starting the same thing on the Harki project because this is a great platform for me to connect with a lot of females over there. So this is the thing that I keep on doing for LinkedIn every day. Now, see, do you really think this is something that has come? I mean, this is something I'll tell you, frankly, if I was reading an article by somebody else in some other website, and I just got one word from there, the power of leverage. From there, I created this post. Now, this is not a blogging. This is a post. You have to start doing a post which says, in sales, when you understand the why of a prospect customer, you have the power of leverage. Now, what is the power of leverage? Leverage is where you can influence a person to buy your product or services. But it is very important to find out why they wanted what they wanted. Very simple. Nothing to do. This is a very basic thing that comes in our mind. The same thing I have just written down in English. When I wrote it down, I just took a Grammarly check, which is another AI tool on Google. I posted my content over there and told them to please take a grammatical check on that. They did that. They had a correction. I again copy pasted from here and put it over here. So first, blogging is different, post is different. Secondly, blogging is something that you are specialized on something and you have your own website and you keep on blogging on that. Second, you don't need to be extremely you need to articulate your thoughts or this or that. Nothing. Start doing it. You can do as simple as that. If you want to start doing it today, whatever you felt about this session, whatever you learned about this session today, only one thing that you learned, whichever it could be, just write it and just post it on the Herky. This is what I understood. This is what I felt like. That's exactly the post is. Do it gradually. You will come at one point of time after maybe a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks that your mind starts working. Okay, today I'll write on this. You have to just start.
Okay.
Did that help you? The questions that you
very
have?
much. Yes, very much. Actually, there are so many things, but probably I got to know what I'm thinking and what actually things are day and night different. So I could understand I'm not basically into the social media person. So since after my kid is born, I just scroll them, or sometime if I have to purchase, I'm on online looking out for things. If not, I'm not more onto a social media thing.
Sure. But let me just give you one understanding to each one of you who are here is that you have to have a presence on social media. See, first you're coming back on the front of getting back to industry, okay? Working industry. You have to have a presence on social media because nowadays people do judge you from social media. Let me tell you the real track on this. So please create your social media strong. Start writing on social media. That will really help you. Start reading a lot about the product or the service, or maybe the industry that you want to choose. If you want to get into operations, sales, marketing, manufacturing, HR, whatever you want to get into, you have to start reading what is the world going on, how the things have changed.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Sure. Anybody has anything else as a question? I'm more than happy to answer if I know. All right, so let me just go back to the next topic, which is called as B2B sales. Now, B2B sales is B means business, business to business sales. So basically, what does that mean? That Harki is going to Udemy and saying, let's have a business. So let's have a tie-up with each other. I am a platform where female who are actually looking for a restarter journey. And we want these people to have actually good advantage over good advantages, and we want these people to grow because they have come on the platform of Herky. So they go to Udemy and say, let's tie up for something where if they have enrolled with us, we will give them certain courses on Udemy free. Now that's business to business. When you talk about business to business, it is always a high value deal. It's never a small value deal. Okay, now I'll give you one example which is going on in the market is that to compete with Jio, Tata is having a collaboration with BSNL. That's business to business sale. Are you getting this? So this is when two businesses talk with each other, they are called as B2B sales. They have a high value deal. Firstly, always understand. Secondly, they have longer sales process because this sales process might take up from 1 month to at least 6 months. Sometimes it goes to years also. It is conducted at the organizational level, which means that people who are sitting at the positioning, who are into CXO level, or who has a signing authority are the people who gets into the decision making of this. And there are many stakeholders involved in this. Now, what does a stakeholder means? That there could be a CEO who is involved, there could be an MD who is involved, there could be a director who is involved, there could be a marketing head could be involved, there could be a HR person who would be involved. There are many people who would be involved in business to business deal. It's never one person who takes the decision on that, because you have to think and see from every angle when it comes to business, because ultimately there are two companies which merging up, buyout, joining, whatever they are doing, there are a lot of things which has to take into consideration. So this is called as B2B. Now, the next one that we have is B2C. B2C is business comes from a business, it goes to a consumer. Okay, so if suppose I am sitting at a place called as a beehive, which is a place of rented space. So this is a business, but it has given to consumer like me, right? You go to retail industry, it is consumer. Business is there, Tata, West Side is there, but they are selling to consumer, individual person. So it's a low value deal. The cycles of sales, which I was just talking about, the process cycle, they are shorter. It is conducted at the individual level, or two or more, one or two people would be a stakeholder. That's it. So this is all about the first step of sales process and the different types of selling that we have in the industry. Now, there is one homework or the assignment that you people have to do, which I would also be telling you, and of course, Avni would come and intervene in between, but in a little while. But before that, firstly, I wanted to understand, do you understand what is sales? Are you clear with that concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. I want everybody to be on the screen for just 10 minutes, please, at the last. Were you able to correlate? This is something that is going to help you to regain or restart your career. Yes.
Yes.
Did you understood what is a sales process or different types of selling? Do you have any question on any stage, step?
No.
Yes, excuse me.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you could come back on the business to customer.
Yes. So business to customer is anything which is, I'm a business, for example, MWay is a business, but they sell to the customers. So that is business to customer. If there is a website, it is a business company, it is owned by Tata. So it is selling to individual, it is business to customer. When you talk about beehive, I'm sitting at a place where you rent the space and you do your business. So it's a company over here, but they're selling it to individual. It's called as a business to customer. Now, just to get it more clarify, what is business to business is, if suppose Harki is a company, Harki is a platform which has a very clear intention that we are going to start all the people who have taken a break from their career because of their family or whatever situations they had in their life, and they want to again restart their careers, okay, as in terms of financial independence. Now, when you're coming back, so this is an intention that they want, and they're giving you a platform for this. Now, if Harki goes to, for example, Udemy, you know what is Udemy is?
Yes.
Right?
An academy where you get short-term
Yes,
courses and
it's an
long-term
online
courses.
Online platform
Exactly.
to learn certain courses.
Yes, exactly. Now, Udemy is basically a big company. Let's take an example of Simply Learn or Udemy or anyone. Now, what happens if you go and buy one course out here? So, if you buy from Udemy, it is business to customer, and they might give you 8,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees one course. Now, that is business to customer. But if suppose you come on the platform of Harki and Harki says, oh, I'll be giving you all this also, along with what I'm offering you. So they had, when Udemy and Harki has it tied up, it is business to business. Ultimately, it is coming to you only as a customer, but the tie-up is at business to business.
Correct.
So that is business to business and business to customer. So a person can have business to business, a company can be okay, I'll give you another example to this. When it comes to let me just give you an example of Misho. So let's take an example of Amazon. Everybody knows about Amazon, right? So Amazon has two type of business, B2B also and B2C also. Now, what is B2B for Amazon? Okay. Now, for if suppose company says if suppose company Sony comes to Amazon and say, I want to sell product on your platform. So Amazon say, you sell your product on the platform of Amazon, I will take care of your shipment and everything, and I will reduce your costing on this. So it's basically business to business, correct? But if Amazon go directly on the screen or on the platform of Amazon, sorry, Sony goes directly on the platform of Amazon, so and from there it is selling to different customer, it is from business to customer. So they can tie up at a business to business level also, and they can tie up at a business to customer level also. So ultimately it's coming to customer only, but in different ways. The end users are always we only. Does that help you?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Like in B2B, like the customers are indirectly reached by the business.
Correct. That's
Whereas
exactly.
in B2C, the customers are directly reached.
Very correct. That's exactly the words are.
Oh.
Thank you, Soumya, for that. So are you all ready for the sales?
Yes.
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 Okay. So was the session useful to you?
Yes.
Very much.
Yes.
How much? Now, very much is a very vague answer. Did I give any of the vague answer when I was in the session? So I expect not to give a vague answer. Come on, you're a salespeople. You have to be precise in answering.
Like we understand basic sales process. What are the things we need to take in note while looking for sales? Like what are the steps
Yes.
we need to follow?
Yes.
And
just,
we understand what is the sale exactly.
thank you so much, Radhika, and thank you so much, Priya. Let me
It
first
was
tell
put
you
in
that.
very simple words
Okay, thank you so very much.
with examples. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharmila. Okay, now let me first tell you all my participants over here is that firstly, please pat yourself back by your own self for two things. First, you being a restarter, you should appreciate yourself on that very front. First, you took that challenge ki let's restart. And the second one is, now I'll tell you another part of it, which is a fact also. You have to follow the sales process, but sales is simple, yet it's one of the most challenging thing in the world. And when you get into that, you need to be consistent, disciplined, and every deal that you will make is real pat back to yourself, because it is the competition is very high. Right? So you should actually be very, very happy and very, very, you should feel good about yourself. Very, very, you should feel good about it actually. I feel full proud to be a salesperson. First, you can make money. Secondly, you have connects. Third, you meet lot of people in the life here, there, and you understand the life that what we think in the shadow that we have under our husbands or a mother, father, it's entirely different. And every sales that I bring in, that gives me a kick. It's a different kind of feeling. When you sell something now, you feel very good.
That I agree.
Increase our confidence level, right?
Yes. A person who can sell now can do anything in the life. I'll tell you one thing. No matter, even if suppose Priya, you come up and say, okay, I need to have, I have interest of something. Just take an example of something. Okay. Now you create that product. The product is amazing. No doubt about it. But if you don't know how to sell that product, there is no value of that product.
Yeah. I need to find whether you are currently in the demand of that. You really need that, like that. Am I clear?
Yes, yes. I'm listening to you.
Okay. You need to find whether you are really interested in buying the product. You are really require the product now or in future. Then I need to find whether how will be the product will be useful to you. Then I will explain on that on that on the thing. Then if you are not showing interest at that moment, and if I find out you really need that, means then I will note the your details and all. Then I will call on you on the follow-up call whether you are now currently interested, whether I'm having our company is currently providing offers like the seasonal offers. Like that, I will try to engage the customer.
Yes. So now one thing, Priya, to you is that I understand whatever you said is right. It's a sale process. Let me
Yeah.
just really just have a tweak understanding to it. I told to you that even if you have the best of the product, if you do not have a person who knows how to do the sale of it, it is not going to be any use. You said with the sales process. The thing is, you should know how to sell your product. Even if I have the need, the want, the authority, the budget, the time, but if you don't know how to sell me, there is no point of you creating that product or service in the market.
Yeah.
Right. Shruti, you were saying something. You raised your hand in between and you just got down.
Was my son. Sorry for that.
Okay. No worries. So that's one thing. Now you have an assignment which you need to do, and it has to be done on the Harki project to each one of you. It's a very simple exercise. There are 4 things that you have to do. There are, just 1 second, please. So what you have to do is that, do we have Anvit here? Avneet here? Okay, we do not have. So what you have to do is like, there are, just 1 second, please.
Yes, Swati, you were saying something?
Yes, Avneet, could you be going and telling about the project or the homework, or should I just be mentioning that?
So I will be posting it on the portal, and request everyone to please be active on the portal, because that is also one of a part of your homework. And you will be able to view the homework on the portal in your group, the group which you have joined in the initial the link shared with you all. So your calendars are also blocked with the session links. You have to click on the session links and you will get the invite for going forward sessions as well. You have another session scheduled with our coach Swati tomorrow, in which the topic for the next session is
ideal customer profile and the buying.
So it is yes, sales identification of prospects. That's the next topic. Okay.
It is going to be interesting.
You will be getting the assignments, which you will be getting a date assigned with it. It is in the form of the Google form. Please be careful because it is one submission per one submission taken on the Google form. So please be careful when you're submitting your form. Make sure that you have entered everything what has been asked in the form, right? So that is all about the assignment. Also, moving forward, all the session links I have already told you. Your calendars, all of your calendars are already blocked for the upcoming sessions. The schedule for the sessions is also posted on your group, Women Sales Network group, which you have been part of. The schedule for the upcoming days is being posted on that already. Please go through the schedule and please mark your calendars. We will be sharing, the reminder calls and the reminder messages with you. But yes, from your own side, you can also mark your calendars. So Swati, I'll be posting in next 2 minutes. It'll be viewable on the portal.
Sure.
The assignment.
Everybody have a small assignment. Don't worry, it is just very small thing. You have to just undergo certain things. Please read it and complete the assignment. It will help you a lot. Secondly, I have posted my Harki link over here on InCall's message. I request each one of you to say me hi and follow me on Harki so that we start connecting on that platform and you start using that platform more and more. Can you people see in the messages my ID link? I request you to
Can we directly search it on a Harki portal? This one?
Yes,
we
you
need to
can,
settle
but
your
there will be a lot of Swati Gupta actually over there. So I just gave you a link on a to simplify it. That's it. Definitely, I would be there, and my face is also there. My photo is also there. So,
Now, so when I click on this link, right? So I'm getting my profiles. I'm not getting yours.
okay.
Yeah.
Just try one more time again. Probably you might get it because this is exactly, or just find me.
Or else your complete name that is displaying on in her key.
So my complete name, I'll just write it down for everybody on the message. Just 1 second, please. It's Varun. Sorry, Swati. Varun Gupta. And this is my full name over there. And my profile has Swati VG over there. So in any ways, if you can find me over there, just say me hi and just follow me so that I can follow you back. Send me request. And here we end the session 1 for the day 1. And I hope you liked it, you loved it, you learned it, something out of it, and you're going to make the decisions very clearly from here.
Okay.
Okay, Shruti. Okay, baby.
Okay, ladies, worry not if you're not able to find Swati Gupta. She is there in your Women Sales Network group as well. You can find her there. Okay,
yes.
So there's an easy way out where you can find your coach in your cohort itself. Okay, the assignment has been posted. It's a small questionnaire of 2 questions. Please go through that and try to do it ASAP. Yeah, though the 2 days timeline has been provided to you, but still, it's better to do it because tomorrow again you will be having one more assignment falling in. Yeah. So thank you so much, Swati. It is again very engaging and very insightful. I'm sure a lot of women here agree to what you said here, and you are leaving them with a food of thought. And tomorrow again we will start afresh. More new examples.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a very good evening to each one of you. Please enjoy your time. Please do your homework.
Please request you to please click on, you can see on the portal. Same goes for you also, Swati. Please click on the interested on the session you see on the Herky portal. Okay, and you will.
I did that for everything yesterday only.
Yeah, and you will be getting the link to join the session.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody has any question for this? Anybody has any confusions or any doubts? You
Ma'am, I
have
have
the
clicked
numbers.
on the assignment.
Yes, Soumya.
I have clicked on the assignment and
Yeah.
I have got there are 2 questions. I
Yes.
didn't understood the first one, ma'am. Please upload or share the link from where you are reading the articles given in the description.
1 second, Soumya. So, Avneet, can I log off?
This question is for you only, Swati.
Okay. Okay, Soumya, so what happens over here is that, for example, if I have asked you a question to read about inborn. Now, okay, 1 second. I'll just give you a... 1 second. Just give me 1 minute, huh, Soumya?
Okay.
Swati, you want me to share my screen where you can see the questionnaire?
No, I'm just giving them example. How do they have to do it?
Sure.
Okay. So this is the one that I need to upload. Now, can you see the screen over here? 1 second, it is just coming up. This is the screen. Can you see what is inborn strategies and best practices?
Yes.
Yes. Now, what you have to do over here is that, say, for example, when you read about this whole thing, you have to just read first, okay? Don't miss out on reading part. And on the top, if you see the HTTP, right? This is a link.
Yes.
This link you have to copy and you have to paste it over there. So we also get to know from where you have read what.
Okay.
So this is the link that you have to.
Sorry, didn't get it because my screen had some problem. Can you repeat it, Swati?
No problem. So I'll just do that again. So suppose a screen. Can you see a screen on? Can you see a screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Swati, I have I can see the screen. I'm not able to see the link you are talking about.
I am trying to put up my link, but I don't know why it is not going up. Just one.
Ma'am, just share entire screen. So while presenting, click on entire screen.
I actually, okay. Now this is a link, say for example, okay. No, but this is coming something else. I don't know what is it coming, but okay. Can you see now what is there on the screen?
Yes.
So can you see on the top here? The highlighted blue one?
Yes.
So this is actually the Salesforce from where you're reading it. So you have to copy this link from here and you have to paste it in that particular assignment. And we get to know, okay, from here you have read about it. So for everything like it's inbound, outbound, you have to read 2 articles and you have to upload the link from where have you read it.
And to explain one more time, the description, what you're getting confused on, if you see the top line of the form where the sales process is written, it is written the study material. Okay, the hint has been given there on what topics you have to read, and that will guide you to how to proceed ahead. Okay,
Ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, see the sales process, outbound sales, inbound sales, types of industries operating in market. These are the hints on what topics you're supposed to read, and you figure out where you're reading, and then leave the links there. Yeah, right, Swati? That is how they have to do it?
Yes, exactly. That is how we have to do it.
Okay, so I think we are done for the day, and don't worry, ladies, we are there to help you. Please be available on time tomorrow, as this is now going to be even more interesting, the interesting topic tomorrow, and you have a pretty interesting coach with lovely examples coming up. Okay, so let's take the leave for the day, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you, Swati. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening ahead.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good day.
Bye. Thank you.